Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your 5th of May or Cinco de Mayo. That being said, we're starting off with Kings news, and the reason why I'm wearing a Kings jersey and hat. Rob Blake's out. It's said that they parted ways mutually. Elliot Friedman reporting that Rob Blake decided last summer not to get into extension talks with the Kings, and now that their season's been ended by the Oilers again, the team's moved on, and so has Rob Blake. So we'll see if Blake turns up anywhere else in a management role, and the Kings have not named a replacement for him as of yet. Keep in mind the draft's next month. Usually a team will want to name their permanent general manager prior to the draft, and especially prior to free agency. So the Kings have their work cut out for them. Adam Lowry, his goal last night in that game against St. Louis, absolute thriller, absolutely fantastic 24 hours of hockey. It was at the 96 minute and 8 mark, 96 minute and 8 second mark, there we go, of the game. Being the third latest in Game 7 history, and I remember the longest, it was the Easter Epic. 128 minutes and 47 seconds, and the Islanders broke my heart, knocked out the Capitals that year. I remember that well. That was insane. That was an absolutely ridiculous game. It taught me just how long hockey games can go, and I was hooked. I was hooked on the idea of really long overtimes. 1939, the Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers played for 108 minutes before a winner was crowned in that Game 7 matchup. So, and no, I don't remember that one. No, I'm not that old. But at any rate, yeah, Lowry has taken his place in the history books, and so have the Winnipeg Jets. Pionk played over 46 minutes. One other thing, too, that I was thinking was, so we had back-to-back Game 7s where we saw multi-goal comebacks, and multi-goal comebacks by teams that people in this house root for. But I don't know that I've ever seen it, and I didn't see anything about it being the only time we've seen that. But considering there have only been 200 Game 7s in the history of the league, I'd be very surprised if there were multiple multi-goal comebacks over a back-to-back night period like that. Just absolutely insane. So Pionk earned his money. We'll see what the health status is for Scheifele and Morrissey once we reach Wednesday. And the Dallas Stars and Winnipeg Jets start their series then. So really looking forward to that. And of course, there will be a preview for that series today. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled for that. The Ottawa Senators are in a tough spot. That they have to forfeit a first-round draft pick because of the Dodonov trade and his no-trade clause and which teams are covered and all that. And that whole mess. They have to forfeit either this year's or next year's. Michael Andlauer, the owner of the Sens, has tried to argue his way out of this. That he was not the owner at the time that trade was made. But at any rate, they still have to forfeit a pick. They're leaning towards keeping this year's pick and potentially forfeiting next year's. And I can hear a lot of people screaming, why would you do that? Because next year's draft is seen as being stronger than this year's. But leaning towards means they haven't made their mind up yet. We'll see what happens there. But the Ottawa Senators are either going to lose this year's first-round pick or next year's. If they do decide to keep this year's and lose next year's, it tells you the management and ownership have faith that the team's going to be back in the playoffs next year. So it could be good news if they decide to hold on to that pick. So tonight, we have one game in the National Hockey League. It is Florida. It is Toronto. It starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. It's game one, and it's gonna be fantastic. I am really looking forward to the 4 matchups that we have. I'm kind of glad that Dallas and Winnipeg are going to be meeting, because that's a fresh new matchup. Where we have 3 other series that don't feel quite as fresh. Even though Washington and Carolina have only played twice, because of the regular season matchups that they had down the stretch, it just feels like they've played each other a lot. But either way, yep, Florida and Toronto tonight. We'll see how that series starts. In the AHL last night, Cleveland fought off elimination. They went into Laval and won 3-1. Laval now leads that series 2-1. Hershey is on the ropes. Lehigh Valley up 2-1 in that series after a 4-2 win over Hershey. So if Hershey's going to win another championship, they're going to have to win 2 games in a row against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms first. Charlotte beat Providence 2-0, so Providence is down 2-0 in the series as well. Looks like they could get swept. And the San Jose Barracuda needed overtime, but they got it done. They beat the Colorado Eagles, so San Jose has tied that series at 1. There's one game tonight in the American Hockey League because during the week they don't play nearly as many games as they do on the weekend. Texas and Grand Rapids game 2. Texas up 1-0 in that series. So we'll see how tonight's game goes down there. Getting back to NHL news, Jesper Bratt and Luke Hughes. Both of them have had shoulder surgery, and so it tells you just that, the New Jersey Devils were pretty beat up and battered. There are guys right now, though, playing for all 8 teams that are injured in these playoffs, and that's just kind of how it works. Are you hurt or are you injured? Reminds me of that Shorzy quote. Basically, if you're injured, it means you can't play, and if you're hurt, you can still go out and play. And the hockey players make up their mind on when they're hurt and when they're injured. So the draft lottery is tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So the live stream on this channel starts at 3:45 Pacific, 6:45 Eastern. The number 1 draft pick this year is very likely to be Matthew Schaefer unless something dramatic happens. He is a defenseman playing out of Erie. The last player out of Erie to go number 1 overall was Connor McDavid. And so, no pressure on Matthew Schaefer or anything. Nobody's expecting him to be a McDavid on the blue line, but he is considered to be an excellent defenseman, and there are a couple other picks worthy of discussion when we get around to this year's draft as well. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.